Oh goodness me, this is quality. That is just absolutely stunning. Oh goodness, best photograph it.
Thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video.
Oh man, the boots are still full of sand from the wonderful Scotland trip, and as a bit of a contrast actually, I'm fancying a bit of a local adventure. The conditions are a bit weird, but we'll get into that in a bit. I want to talk about something that I just don't think ever gets talked about. I think it's really important for beginners, people that are just getting into landscape photography, and a good reminder for the rest of us. So let's see what the evening brings. Oh my goodness, so what did I just say to you? That the conditions are weird, and we'll chat about them in a sec. They've completely changed. It has gone what I can only describe as thunderstorm-esque. It's nice, we've got some beautiful clouds, but let me tell you this, it feels like it's about to chuck it down. It's quite warm, it's just one of them, but we're here now, so we've got to get stuck in. Oh, actually, it hasn't. Look at this, off in the background. Look at that little strip, or quite a big strip of light out to the west. That is what I meant earlier when I said weird. And that is what has been getting me quite excited on the drive here. But we'll see if that can translate into any photographs. Oh, this is beautiful, is it not? Oh, absolutely wonderful. So yeah, a little bit of a coastal track. No idea what the evening is going to bring. Just wait here a sec. And yeah, fingers crossed we can get one or two nice shots. And as always, we'll have a nice bit of a chat as well.
We got time on our side. We're in a state of hope. I need you on my fire. I want you to know that every time you're away, I long for you so much I can find my way.
Absolute silence. You know what? It's one of those wonderful summer's evenings where it's warm, but there's like a fine drizzle in the air to keep you cool. There's no wind. Oh man, there's been many a time on this coastline of Morecambe Bay, which is where we are this evening, where it's just been howling with wind. Still nice, but in a different way. This is just pleasant, and what a privilege to be out photographing it. So probably a little bit of a snapshot. This is one of these photographs where, to be honest, I am proper unsure as to whether or not it's going to be good, not great good, or horrendous, like just pointless even getting the camera out. But I'm going to go for it because it's one of them where I just feel like there's something there. I don't quite know what, but I feel like there's a little bit of potential. Hopefully I can try and get that across. I don't know. I think it's the light, to be honest. You can maybe see even just there. We've still got that kind of weird strip of light off over Morecambe Bay there, and then above it is just dark, gloomy, moody clouds. It's wonderful, and we've also got some nice reflections as well. So I'm in at 200mm, and I'll tell you one thing that I really like about this image is the balance. At the bottom sort of, I don't know, like quarter of the frame, we've got some of the sand, dark, and in the top quarter of the frame, we've got them dark, moody clouds, and it just frames that light in the middle really, really nicely. Or at least I'd like to think so. That's what's going on in my head. But yeah, probably about the light and about the reflections. I've just stuck it, the camera that is, in aperture priority mode. Nice and simple, and I've just used the exposure compensation to make sure that I'm not clipping them highlights where that light is, because that's probably the best part of the image. But fingers crossed, a good one to start off the evening. Oh man, I've stopped here to have a chat, but in a minute I'm going to have to take another little photograph here. It's going to be pretty much exactly the same, except from, look at that. We've got this lovely little channel here that's leading us out into that landmass across the bay there in that light. So I'll show you that in a second, I suppose. I want to talk about the topic of the video. This thing that I just don't think gets talked about anywhere near enough, bearing in mind how important I think it is anyway, or how important it's been for my photography journey. And that's like how much effort, how many hours and years, quite frankly, that you've got to put in to get to a point where you're feeling like you're taking good photographs or decent photographs. Now, I'm not for 1 second claiming that I'm a really good photographer or anything, far from it. But I've come a long way. And how this came about was yesterday I was just, do you ever do it like when you just click on an old folder on your computer and it's, photographs from years ago, and you just go down a bit of a rabbit hole and you start looking at them all? I did that, and I was looking at them thinking, man, like some of these photographs are so rubbish. Whereas at the time, I thought they were all right. But yeah, it made me realise, I've actually come quite a long way, and it made me feel fairly proud of myself, to be quite honest. But that's why I wanted to create this video for beginners, especially, as there is no quick fix. The internet makes you believe mad things, doesn't it? Like, there's no quick fix. Everyone wants a quick fix in this day and age. And people want things now, don't they? And I worry for that, because I think this is such a beautiful passion for your life. It's such a fantastic thing to go out and do, to be out in nature. And look at this, there's no one here. It's just me and the oyster catchers, man. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for landscape photography. And I just don't like to think that somebody is just starting to get into it and then they get bored because they don't see any progress. You must understand, if you're a beginner, it takes a long old time. It's taken me like probably about 7 years to get to where I am now, and I'm still not, content. I'm proud of myself, like I said, but I've still got a long way to go. I want to continue to learn. And yeah, I just think that's really, really important to say. And on top of that, I was just thinking about this on the drive here, actually, in the van, is that might sound really negative. You think, oh no, I've got to put in all that effort. You're just saying there, it's taking you 7 years or something. But I think that's a really good thing. Firstly, it means that it's accessible to all of us. You've just got to put hard work in and hours. That's it. You ain't got to have any special gear. Arguably, you don't even have to be talented. You've just got to put effort in. And then secondly, and this is definitely the case for me, I accepted early on that if I want to get better at landscape photography, I have to put years in. And it meant that I'd really stretched out that passion, and I've enjoyed it for 7 years. I think that is amazing. Because early on, I realised I ain't going to become a good photographer overnight. This is going to take a long time. But yeah, I mean that in the most positive way that I possibly can get that across to beginners especially. And if you're like me, you're a few years into your photography, or even if you're decades into it, have a look back at some of your old photographs if you haven't done it in a while. It's class, and it really makes you realise how far you've come. It's a good thing. So yeah, any comments below? I'd love to hear your opinions on that sort of thing. It's taken a long old time, and there's a long way to go. Anyway, I must grab this photograph. So I've just had a quick little look. I've only come about 15 minutes since we last chatted. I've had a quick little look on the Photo Pills app. I'll put it up on the screen here, and I can see that the sun is going down in this section right behind me. So there's no point in me carrying on, because I'm just going to go around the cliffs and lose the sunset. And plus, this is a really good little spot. We've got cliffs. We've got reflections in the sort of water that the tide's left over there. We've got little puddles, all sorts. So what I'm going to do, we're an hour till the sunset. I'm just going to chill around here and hope for the best. It's kicking off. It has well and truly kicked off, actually. Right, I need to get back over to my camera. So I'm moving away from all those rocks over there because there was a little bit too much texture in the shadows. There was loads of footprints. It was too messy. I was faffing about over there for too long. In fact, if anyone follows me on Instagram, that's where I did that live the other day. This is that very evening. And look, it did kick off. Oh, so you can probably see the camera down there somewhere. And I came over here. Oh, I'm shattered. Running around like an absolute headless chicken. I came over here because, like I said, the tide goes out and it leaves this like surface layer of water. Which of course is reflecting all of that colour. So we'll get down there and I'll show you where I'm at. Oh goodness me, this is quality. That is just absolutely stunning. Oh goodness, best photograph it. Oh man, absolute quality. I was expecting like a little bit of colour, you know, some red amongst the blacks and the greys of them sort of moody clouds like I've been banging on about, but that exploded. That kicked off big time. What an absolute treat. So all I've done really is, of course, started with the background and made sure that that element, that colour, that glow is centre stage, really. It's all about that light, that colour. Absolutely amazing. I haven't photographed a sunset like this in a while. Proper right place at the right time. And then, yeah, just worked my way through the image. All I really could work with actually was foreground. That's why I was messing about over there with all them rocks, because they were pretty good. You know, there was puddles, the little crags were leading out into where the sun was setting, but like I said, it was just a little bit too messy. I like this image, or I like the way it looks on the camera at least, because it looks quite clean and simple. You know, there is no mess in the foreground, there's certainly no footprints. There's just colour and a nice little bit of texture of these beautiful Morecambe Bay sands, and like I said, this sort of like thin surface of water which is reflecting all of that colour. This is an image that's all about colour. The colour red, vibrant. So obviously really, really low down, like the legs are out like that. Camera's really low down, and I've just angled down slightly. Good little bit of the sky, maybe just over a third. When it comes to the rule of thirds, you know, you can, if you want to use the rule of thirds, use it and just break it ever so slightly. Don't feel like you have to get it on that third line every single time. It won't look silly. Or just don't use the rule of thirds at all. It's up to you. But yeah, I wanted a decent amount of the sky in because of that colour. And then f11, ISO 64. Each shot was taken at a 2-second exposure. I say each shot because I did a focus stack. I felt like it was necessary because of how low down I am and how close some of these sands are to us. Oh, I think this one will be half decent. I hope you like it. Oh man, what a buzz! What a buzz! And look, just like that, he's pretty much gone. I don't think there's going to be any more photographs. Before I go, I want to say another really big thanks to Squarespace for their support and for sponsoring today's video. If you don't know who they are, Squarespace is an all-in-one platform that you can go on to build your own website. So if it's, you know, ever something that you've wanted to do, an aspiration that you've had, I use Squarespace and I would highly, highly recommend them. It's very, very easy. They've got loads of fantastic templates to get you started. That's the main thing. It's easy to do it. You needn't be overwhelmed by the prospect of building your own website. If, like me, you want to sell products on their prints, calendars, my 2023 calendar is now available to pre-order. You can do that with their e-commerce package, and yeah, comes highly recommended. And they've also got fantastic customer service as well. I always want to say that because, you know, I've struggled with one or two small things in the past and they've always been there to help me out. Absolutely brilliant. So another big thank you to them. If you want to give them a go to squarespace.com/Henry Turner, or there'll be a link in the video description below, and use the offer code Henry Turner at checkout for 10% off your first purchase. Right, what a lovely little adventure. I really enjoyed the topic of this video, and yeah, it's something that does mean a lot to me. And yeah, thank you so much for your support, and I'll see yous on the next adventure. I'm absolutely buzzing. Out!